Again here on a Wednesday night, live from Glory Days Grill in Tallahassee. Welcome in again, Noles fans. It is another edition of Inside Seminole Basketball with the head coach, Luke Laux. My name is Jeff Culhane. Great to be here. Have an excellent program for you tonight. Coming up a little bit later on, man, he's been playing some solid basketball, shooting the three. Kobe McGee will stop by. He's in the house right now, right over there. And looking forward also later in the program tonight, Jim Moran will stop by the show. Associate head coach, runs the offense for this Florida State basketball team. Without further ado, a big round of applause for our head man, Luke Laux, everybody, here tonight.
Thank you.
Coach, it's great to see you. My Diet Coke's already sucked down. We got not a whole lot of sleep after that 9 p.m. tip last night and a ride back home. But I know you guys back to work today, getting ready. Guys played hard again. I know you're tired of me saying that. You guys want to see the W's, the end results you've been working so hard for. You watched the film afterwards. What'd you see from your team with last night's game?
Yeah, and you said it, the W's are what matters. That's what we get judged on. But as a head coach, you want to see, progress. And I thought last night, again, we came up short against a really good Syracuse team. We have statistically had the toughest schedule so far in the ACC, and that doesn't make you feel any better. We've lost all 4 of them, but some of those were really bad losses. The NC State was a really bad, unacceptable loss. The UNC and Duke game, we fought, and I felt like we fought tonight. We just made too many mistakes, especially in the second half. We shot ourselves in the foot and allowed them to go on some of those big runs, even though some of them were only 5 to 7 points, but they were killers. The turnovers, the live ball turnovers especially, sometimes I go back to as a player, you're playing for Coach Hamilton, and I would turn it over live ball because live ball turnovers are brutal because they lead the opponent's fast break. He's like, Luke, if you're going to turn it over, just punt it in the stands. at minimum, we can set our defense. And it brought me back to last night. We had 3 or 4 in the second half. They were breakout dunks for them that just killed us down the stretch. Again, I'm proud of our fight and compete. It's a tough place to play. It's a tough place to win up in the Dome. They got a really good team this year. And at some point, that progress is going to lead to production. And that's what we need in these last 14 games. We need to find a way to scrape and claw together some wins.
Yeah, you mentioned Saturday against NC State, not up to standard with what you and the staff and everyone within your program holds yourselves to from an accountability standpoint. But from a response perspective, quick turnaround, you flushed that one right away, and you could tell early your guys were locked in, active, energetic, shooting the ball well, great shots, in rhythm. Kind of take me through what you noticed from the guys early in the game as we jumped out to a lead from a response standpoint, seeing what you wanted to see out of that group.
Yeah, the word response is interesting because it obviously insinuates some failure, which we completely failed against NC State. To me, instead of response, it's just a standard of what we want to do. Yeah. You have to play with a certain amount of intensity, of urgency, and passion to win basketball games. So to me, that is the bare minimum. Yeah. I get what you're saying. It is a response to the last game, but we need to show up to work every day and do our job. And I know the players feel that with the way we've been practicing, the way we've been working, but that has to continue every night or we're just not going to have a chance. And at minimum, we want to show up with the right amount of accountability to each other and to this program and to this school. Wearing this brand on our shirt is special, and it means something to me, and it's got to mean something to the guys, it's got to mean something to the staff. And that requires every single day stepping in the gym, whether it's a practice, whether it's a drill, whether it's a game, just a certain amount of intensity and energy put forth to have a chance.
Yeah. Hey, time now for our truest hero of the game, dating back to both contests last weekend. Thomas Bassong, the freshman out of Paris, France, played one of his best games from a scoring standpoint against NC State. A career-high 14 points against the Wolfpack this past Saturday, and earning minutes with his practice and his level of play between the white lines. Coach gave him a second career start last night versus Syracuse. I know you and the staff and the guys have been impressed by Tomas and by his attention to detail and how he's continuing to grow. Take us through what you're seeing from him as it looks like every time he's out on the floor, he's gaining more and more confidence, Coach.
Yeah, Tomas is a really talented young freshman. What I like about him is what we just talked about, just his effort level consistently. He makes mistakes. He's a freshman. You got to live through some of those mistakes, and you got to teach him, and you got to coach him. He accepts coaching, but what I really like about Tomas is just he leaves it all out on the floor, and that's what we need more of from our group. We need a committee of guys doing exactly what he's doing, playing through mistakes. Listen, I make mistakes. The players make mistakes. We all make. You make mistakes every once in a while.
There's no doubt about that.
I can't remember the last time you did.
It happens a lot.
But it does
actually.
happen.
Yes.
But going back to what he brings is just an effort level every time he steps on the floor. And to his credit, he's improved throughout the season, which is what you want as a coach. And that NC State game, like we said, was atrocious. But he was one of the lone bright spots. He played with some fight. And I think he was probably the only one that did it. And Kobe and Spurts did it, and you guys will hear from Kobe. Kobe's had a really good stretch for us. But Tomas is going to keep getting better. It's like a toddler learning how to walk right now. Yeah. But it's so cool to watch him learn and grow and put forth, again, the effort that you need to succeed at this level.
Tomas Basong, our truest hero of the game. When you work with someone who knows a lot and cares even more, you're unstoppable. So start feeling like it today. Visit Truist.com/care. Truist, leaders in banking, unwavering in care. Truist Bank, member FDIC. And we are live from Glory Days Grill here in Tallahassee. Of course, the host location of Inside Seminole Basketball with Luke Lauk. Stop by every Wednesday night during hoop season, 7 to 8 p.m. An all-star selection of food, drinks, and, of course, to hear from the head coach, players, and our Florida State basketball staff. Coming up, the head man will continue to talk about his guys, their growth, and getting ready for Wake Forest tonight on the program. Just getting started on a Wednesday night. Great to see everybody here with us this evening. We are back with Coach Luke Laux after this timeout. And great to be back in on a Wednesday night, live from Glory Days Grill here in Tallahassee. Welcome back to Inside Seminole Basketball. Our guy Chuck Walsh making the rounds, handing out the FSU hoops posters. Give it up for our media relations director extraordinaire. Tell you what, you play your cards right. We got an autograph from Luke Laux, I think, coming up. Kobe McGee, maybe a little autograph there. Jim Moran a little bit later on in the program. There we go. We're having a little fun here on Wednesday night. Coach, I tell you what, it's been fun seeing your guys go out. And every time I talk to fans and we talk about your team, they love the pace. They love the way you guys play on the offensive end of the floor, getting up and down, and how the freedom your players have in shooting the basketball from behind the three-point line. And last night, we got it going in the Dome. Double-digit threes made in the game for the 11th time this season. And guys that made that happen were Kobe, obviously, but Martin Somerville stepped up in a big-time way for you again and knocked down 4 triples in that contest.
Yeah, Martin and Kobe can shoot the ball at such a high level. Like you said, I've given them a lot of freedom as long as they're generating the right shots. Sometimes I feel like I give them too much freedom, and our staff lets me know that. Sometimes you got to rein them in a little bit, but to me, it's not about the shot taking; it's about the shot making.
Yeah.
And Kobe McGee, like you said, has had a stretch here where he's really helped us with his production, and we need Kobe and Martin and others to make shots for us to have a chance. Martin came off the bench last game. I shook it up after that NC State game, rewarded some guys for their effort in practice. And the positive thing about Martin is he didn't blink an eye.
Yeah.
He is for the team. Whatever we need him to do, he's going to do with all of his might. And shot making is one of those key things that he brings to the table at a high level, especially on the road in a tough environment in the Dome. That's a funky gym to shoot in for Kobe and Martin to come out there with full confidence.
Sure.
A lot of their shots came at key times too to keep us in the game and cut some of their runs off. So it was good to see, and we need a little bit more of it.
Yeah. As a player, you didn't play in the Dome, did you? Because
No.
Syracuse was not in the league yet. They were still in the old Big East.
That's
and
right.
So stepping in there for the first time in that setting as the head coach, kind of take me through from a basketball perspective, a shooter's perspective. how that kind of lines up, or what some of your guys were saying about the sight lines in there last night.
Yeah, that was my first time in the Dome, and it's unique. Derwin Kitchen and I, when we were in shoot around, talked about it. It reminded us of playing in the Sweet 16 in San Antonio.
Sure.
And you're playing in a facility that was meant for a football team.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what it is. That stadium was built for a football team, and the stands come down the courts on about the 20, 30-yard line, and it was a very unique and pretty cool place to play. You know, and now I wish we would have walked out of there with a win.
Yeah.
But just getting acclimated as a shooter, it can be tricky because your sight lines and your depth perception are a little bit different. The stands are so far pushed back, and then you need binoculars to see the top of that dome.
Yeah.
So it was unique for sure. But for our guys to come out there, especially in the first half, and shoot and score the way they did was good to see.
By the way, 40 points scored by Luke Laux' Noles in the first half of that game on Wednesday night, the most allowed by Syracuse, who is the top 25 scoring defense team in all of college basketball, the most points allowed in the first half by Cuse all season. With what your guys did in that first half of the game, scoring 40 points against the Orange in that contest last night. So the shots were falling in, that is for sure. You with the way that you want to go out and rebound, coach, and compete in the league, you have certain guys that need to play maybe a little bit bigger than what their position number slots them at. Leger Jones last night felt like he played to that kind of a level. 13 points, a team high, 7 rebounds, and battling their front line down near the basket.
Yeah, and what makes a team like Syracuse unique, and you mentioned on the defensive end, they just have so much length. Their center is 6'10", 6'11", but I think a 7'4" wingspan.
Yeah.
To top in the ACC in block shots, I think top 7 in the country in block shots.
William Kyle, yeah.
And even their 4 is standing about 6'9", 6'10", and these guys have tremendous length, athleticism. They're good defenders, good rebounders. And so for our guys, you mentioned Leger, but across the board, at times we play a little bit smaller, and we try to play with some speed, and that's what our roster is built on. But you got to battle on the boards. And for Leger and others, Tomas had a couple big ones. Kobe had a couple big offensive rebounds. To me, rebounding is not equal parts. It's part you got to have size and some physicality, which obviously Syracuse did, but a lot of it is just heart. Yeah. A lot of it is just will and effort and focus to attack the glass. And when our guys do it, we can rebound, specifically on the offensive end. We can rebound with the best of them. Mm-hmm. And when we're not locked in, we get totally abused. And that's where we just need a level of focus on the glass night in and night out, regardless of who we're playing.
Yep. Here with the head coach, Luke Laux, on Wednesday night, live from Glory Days Grill in Tallahassee. Great to be here talking all things Florida State basketball. As our program brought to you in part by Carver's Discount Cleaners. Mean on stains, green on earth. Try new Eco Green Dry Cleaning at Carver's Discount Cleaners, 1242 North Monroe Street in Midtown. And also brought to you in part by Seminole Boosters. Did you know that FSU Athletics is self-supported, is not funded by tax dollars? We rely on fans like you to join Seminole Boosters so your teams have the best chance to succeed on and off the court. Membership starts at $5 per month and comes with great benefits. Go online to SeminoleBoosters.com to learn more. Coming up, we'll talk with Coach about our Scott and Wallace keys to success. Looking for a great bounce back the rest of the week, getting ready for Wake Forest. That and more on the way with the head man, Luke Laux. Stay with us. We are back after this timeout.
Seminole basketball.
Rolling along back here at Glory Days Grill in Tallahassee. Welcome back, Noles fans. Inside Seminole basketball, the head man, Luke Laux. My name is Jeff Culhane. Coming up a little bit later on the program, Kobe McGee will stop by the show. Kobe in ACC play is doing some great things. 14.7 points per game, shooting 40% from 3, and double-figure scoring in all 4 ACC games. Looking forward to hearing from the Allentown, Pennsylvania native coming up a little bit later on in the show. And our program is brought to you in part by Wolfson Children's Hospital. Odds are beaten here at Wolfson Children's. Always here, official children's hospital of Florida State Athletics. Coach, we got the Tuesday night game against Syracuse, and now this week, we got back late, early this morning, I guess you would say, from Central New York, and getting ready now for another home tilt Saturday night against Wake Forest. That's a 6 p.m. tip, by the way, inside the Donald L. Tucker Civic Center. Scott and Wallace, keys to success as you refocus now and look to push it forward back at home and take the steps forward. Kind of take me through what you're looking forward and expecting here over the next couple of days in preparation, getting ready for the Demon Deacons.
Yeah, like you said, we I think I laid down at 4:23 a.m. this morning. Getting off that flight was brutal, but most of my time was spent on watching film from last night's game.
Sure.
We had obviously the day off today, and just bouncing ideas around with our coaching staff of what we need to clean up from the Syracuse game, and then move on to Wake. So I haven't watched a ton of Wake film, but I've seen them play a few games, throughout the season on TV. I know some of their staff. Actually, one of their assistant coaches I played with over in Europe, and so it'll be good to see him again. Coach Forbes does a great job with those guys. Just watching their team a little bit throughout the season, they got a kid named Juke Harris, 6'7", guard wing that can really go get it. Averaging almost 20 points and 7 rebounds. They got a really steady point guard play. Nate Clemis, I think he's averaging about 5 or 6 assists a game. Setup guy, but they play a good brand of basketball. Coach Forbes does a really good job getting his guys to play hard, to share the ball offensively. So it'll be another challenge for our defense to step up and get the job done. 5 guys against the ball, finding ways to get stops every possession.
Yep. When you look at this time of year, we're into the early portion of ACC play. You guys have been practicing shoot since late spring, summer, working out together the whole time. How do practice sort of plans, times change at all, if they do, comparatively maybe to about 6-8 weeks ago when we're starting the regular season?
Yeah, the summertime is a lot of player development. Obviously, this round was different as a first-time head coach. We were hiring staff members. Everyone was moving their family, so there was a lot of moving pieces going back and forth. But we got as much player development as we could with our guys throughout the summer. And then as you ease into preseason, it's about working your guys, get them back in shape, get them into basketball shape. Obviously, installing on both sides of the ball your foundation of the way you want to play. And then as you get in the season, every week's different in the sense that last week we didn't have a game for a week, and this week we got 2 games in 5 days, and moving forward, I think we play every 3 or 4 days for a good stretch here. And so you obviously have to be smart with the way you work your guys, but to me, it's less about being smart and more about pulling what we need out of these kids and these young men that we need to play with a certain tenacity. And our practices, we sit in these coaches' meetings, and our job as coaches to help the players. And we got to find ways to help, whether that's to motivate them, whether that's how you schedule practice, how you structure it, what you're running in the games, your tactics, your strategy, all the above. But what we've done over the past few weeks since the Christmas break is try to set a level of competitiveness in practice that hopefully will translate to the game. If you fall in love with competing every day and you show up for a game, it's just second nature. You're going to, again, give it all of what you have and leave it on the line no matter who you're playing. And so that's been our focus no matter what day of the week it is. I told our guys before the game, because their bodies were a little beat up, and I said, good, they should be. And when you get to a professional level, you're never going to feel 100% healthy going into a game. That's you get paid to do a job. Doesn't matter how you feel. Doesn't matter your back hurts. It doesn't matter. You got to go perform. And that's what we did leading up to that Syracuse game. It's what we'll continue to do, is set a mentality of competitiveness every practice.
Yep. Keys to Success brought to you by Scott & Wallace, the official injury lawyers of Florida State Athletics. Scott & Wallace with offices in Tallahassee. Coming up next here on Inside Seminole Basketball, we'll talk with Coach about his staff. He mentioned some of the guys. We'll talk with Jim Moran a little bit later on in the program. We got some of the crew here tonight as well. We'll touch on this staff in year number 1 of the Luke Laux era at Florida State University. That's on the other side as we roll along on a Wednesday night. Live from Glory Days Grill in Tallahassee. We are back after this timeout.
From Glory Days Grill, here is Jeff Cohane.
Hey, we're rolling along on a Wednesday night back here at Glory Days Grill in Tallahassee. Great to have everybody with us here once again on Inside Seminole Basketball with the head coach Luke Laux. Coming up here momentarily, Kobe McGee will stop by the program. The first commit in the Luke Laux era. We'll talk with Kobe here in about 10 minutes or so on the show. And also Jim Moran, associate head coach, leads the offense. We get to know Coach Moran a little bit on the program. Coach Moran, not a bad player in his own right.
Oh, 100%.
Not too bad.
He is, I believe, the only American player to have his jersey hanging in the rafters in ACB in the Spanish League. So pretty good.
The top
pretty good
Spanish
player for
league,
himself.
right?
Yeah, one of the best leagues in the world. Played over there for 10 to 12 years. Was a really good player out of William and Mary.
Yeah.
If he was about 40 pounds lighter and 20 pounds younger, I would play him right now.
Yes.
In our team, he's that would not be safe as we speak. But 20 years ago, he would have really helped us.
Hey, all I know is that this summer when he was flying around during practice and blocking shots, I'm like,
it was scary.
He's played before.
Yeah. He's a big grizzly bear.
He is. Yeah. He was getting after it, getting after people. And that leads us right into discussing the staff you assembled here in year number one. You've got some of our younger guys and ops and support staff here with us, students as well, assistants. They're here with us tonight. We appreciate those boys. Your chief of staff, Kelly Nielsen, is here as well. We appreciate her very much. Chuck Walsh, we talked about earlier, media relations director extraordinaire. And looking at some of the guys on that list, we talked with Michael Fly last week, but Jim Moran, Gerald Gillian, Derwin Kitchen, of course, an excellent player you played with here at Florida State. Chris Kent, a part of the staff for Leonard Hamilton, and so many more. Perrin Foote, your director of operations. Ben O'Donnell, your director of performance. Chris Clapton, your head trainer as well. Justin Linder and Kyle Washington, two guys that also are keys to your staff. So I know it's a tight-knit group. And the work put in is big time in so many ways.
Our staff's doing a great job. You mentioned Jim and Michael Fly. You'll hear from Jim. You heard from Michael last week. Both of those guys were just selected in the past few days as two of the top 100 assistant coaches in college basketball. So, kudos. I don't know what you did and who you paid to get that, but good job, Jim. And Jim Moran, he didn't know this Jim Moran Institute for his School of Entrepreneurship. So when he got to town and introduced himself, a lot of people thought he was part of the business school as a son or grandson of the Jim Moran. And he was a little confused, and very quickly he figured out, like, oh, there's a bigger Jim Moran than me. And I told him, if you can somehow find a relation and spin that into an NIL deal, we'll take it. Yeah. The Moran family has quite a bit of money. So now our staff is doing an incredible job. And just to show the level of smarts to our staff, these GAs over here and managers, they know what they're doing, because I told them if they show up, I'm always going to pay for their meal. And all of a sudden, 8 of them show up to watch the radio show.
That was impressive, yeah.
No, they know what they're doing.
They do.
They're going to get a free meal out of this.
Yeah. I mean, it was a 3 a.m. wheels down, and these guys are here with bells on for dinner.
Yeah, you're not fooling anyone.
Yeah. Well, smart. They're in the right spot. That's for sure. When you were putting this group together and assembling your staff and everybody throughout the spring and the summertime, kind of take me through all the things you were thinking about and trying to find the right guys to be a part of this program with you.
Yeah, as you're interviewing for jobs, you always have a few guys in mind that you trust, you work well together, that above all else, they're going to keep it real with you. Yeah. I don't like the guys on staffs that just say whatever the head coach wants, and I don't believe that's constructive for anyone. So a few of these guys that I hired, Michael Fly, I've known since I was 17 years old. Gerald Gillian, I played for his family's AAU team way back in the day before he got into college coaching. Both of those guys have been head coaches in college. Both of them will be head coaches again if they want to pursue it. Jim, I've known for the last 10 years, working against each other in the NBA, and then most recently, Mike Brown hired him in Sacramento, so we got to work together for a year, and very quickly we realized that we believed in a lot of same things about the way you operate, the way you respect people, the way you work, and so I had to drag him out of Sacramento, but we got his family here. when I told him about Florida, I was really selling the beaches and we're in the capital city, and he shows up to Tallahassee. Like, this is not exactly what you explained, but their family has grown to love Tallahassee and done a really good job in the community. And then obviously, with Derwin Kitchen, Chris Kent, we got a lot of guys on our staff, Justin Linder, Kyle Washington, a lot of guys on our staff in different roles that have played at a high level. That was really important to me. As you assemble a staff, players, they want to be taught and they want to be coached. But a lot of times, if you've done it, if you step between the lines, and not only can you teach, but you can show.
Yeah.
A lot of times that resonates a little bit more with players, specifically in the player development area, which I'm really passionate about. I want to build this team to have guys not play here for a couple months and then transfer someone else. I want to coach guys until they're ready to get to the pros. And with that, you have to set a culture of improvement every day. So our staff is filled with former players that have a lot of energy, a lot of positivity, even in tough moments, that, regardless of the outcomes, we're going to show up every day and help you guys get better. And so I love our staff. I wouldn't trade any of them for the world. And I'm really excited about what we're building long term here.
Yeah, it's fun to watch you guys work, interact, and just do your thing, quite honestly. And you can tell it's a tight-knit group, which is truly impressive.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun here.
Are you asking for a job?
You're always connected, Coach. You're always networking.
We can find a spot for you.
I could do some things for you.
Blink twice. All right, you're in.
That's right. Coming up here with the head coach, Luke Laux, we will have our FRLA opponent preview to wrap up his time with us here on the show in our next segment. But our program brought to you in part by Truist. When you work with someone who knows a lot and cares even more, you're unstoppable. So start feeling like it today. Visit Truist.com/care. Truist, leaders in banking, unwavering in care. Truist Bank, member FDIC. Coming up, a quick preview of the Demon Deacons coming to town Saturday night inside the Tucker Center. That and more on the way. We are back after this timeout. All right, coming up, Kobe McGee is in our next segment of the program. Looking forward to talking with Kobe here on the show. Jim Moran will follow here at the end of the program, live from Glory Days Grill in Tallahassee. Time now for our FRLA opponent preview. The Wake Forest Demon Deacons coming to town. They're 10-7, 1-3 in ACC play, led by Steve Forbes in year number 6. Some impressive wins in non-conference play. They got wins over Memphis, West Virginia, and Charleston, and beat Virginia Tech at home in ACC action. And Coach, you mentioned Juke Harris. That's a guy that's the fifth leading scorer right now in the ACC at 20.4 points per game, 43s made. And from an improvement perspective, he only scored about 5-6 points a game a season ago. And so when you look at most improved players in our league, obviously that's a name that sticks out with what he's doing for Steve Forbes in year number 2 in Winston-Salem.
Yeah, he's going to be up there for sure. If he doesn't win the MVP, it'll honestly be shocking. As a sophomore, he's taken a huge jump.
Yeah.
Like I said, Steve's done a really good job with that program from where he took it over to where it is now, and they've just gotten better and better every year. It's what we're going to try to do with this program in terms of what we're building. But he's a really good coach. He has a good staff. They're smart. They're tactical in what they do. They're 1-3 in ACC play, but like you said, they've won some big games earlier in the season, and they're a really dangerous team. Not only with Juke, but they have a couple guys that can really go get one. And it'll be a good challenge for us to again bounce back from a tough road loss and get our feet back under us and get back to work.
Yeah, played Carolina within 3 on the road last Saturday, and played Miami at home to a close game as well. Miles Colvin, another guy for Wake Forest, who's made 31 threes in the season, 27 steals as well. Final thoughts. We always appreciate you being here, and I know you'd love to see it's a 6 p.m. tip on Saturday night. You appreciate everybody coming out, and I know you'd love to see that fan support making the Tucker Center one of the rowdiest places in the league.
Yeah, no, thank you guys for coming out. It's always good to see the Seminole faithful and familiar faces that are supporting us. The biggest thing and the biggest message is we're going to continue to build this program. And obviously that requires a lot of patience and a lot of work and a lot of dedication to what we're doing. But I would just encourage our fans to stick with us. Obviously we're in a tough stretch right now. now. We've lost 4 in a row. We're nowhere near where we want to be and where we need to be. I understand that as a head coach of this team. Our staff certainly understands that, and we're going to work our tails off to keep pushing these guys to, eventually the results will come, but we have to stick with the process of improvement and the process of competitiveness and the process of every day you walk in this gym and you fight like it's your last day playing basketball. And eventually that leads to wins. And I just hope that, like you said, people continue to show up, especially when we're in a tough stretch, and support us and most importantly, support our guys and give them the encouragement they need.
Yep. Always great seeing you, Coacher. Thanks so much for the time.
Appreciate it.
That's
Thank
Luke
you, guys.
Laux, everybody, the head coach of the Florida State Seminoles. Our opponent preview brought to you by FRLA, bringing unmatched rivalry and heart-pumping competition to the Big Bend region. Sporting events boost the local economy, filling hotel rooms, restaurant tables, and creating unforgettable experiences for residents and visitors alike. To learn more about Florida's hospitality industry and the events we support, visit frla.org. Coming up, Kobe McGee will stop by. He's on a heater right now, everybody. We'll talk with Kobe when we come back on the other side. We are back after this timeout.
Here is Jeff Culhane.
All right, great to be back. Rolling along on Wednesday night, live here from Glory Days Grill in Tallahassee. Let's get right to it. It's our student-athlete segment presented by Seminole Boosters. A big round of applause. Kobe McGee is here, everyone. Let's go.
Glad to be here.
This guy is shooting the tar out of the basketball, if there is tar in a basketball. You're doing it right now, my friend. I know you guys are looking, continuing to work and fight for the wins and that end result. But, man, it really feels like you have kind of hit your stride right now in ACC play. How would you describe your comfort level right now on the floor offensively and scoring it the way you do?
I think I'm pretty comfortable out there. I hope I look confident while I'm playing.
Yeah, you do.
But I just trust my training and talking with my teammates these last couple weeks, having these team meetings and these player practices, shooting around with the guys, just getting more comfortable around them. It's helping me be the best version of me, and I hope I could bring that out of other people as well.
What's it been like as a team, getting to know each other, getting to learn each other on the court? It's a new team with 11 newcomers, and you guys are all playing together now for the first time and doing it together in the ACC. What's that process been like as the comfort level continues to grow each and every game?
Obviously, it's been difficult these past couple games. We're trying to find out who we really are, in times of struggle. But we are figuring each other out, day by day. Just talking to each other, really, getting to know each other off the court so we can trust each other on the court. I think that's the best part of this team is that we're all new and just trying to figure each other out.
I mentioned it earlier. You're the first commit of the Luke Laux era back last spring. Take me back to that point in time as you were deciding where you wanted to go, and your phone rang, and the coaching staff connected with you and got a hold of you and told you about Florida State.
No, it was a good time. I came down here to visit. I told them my interest in vinyl records and going to the record store. I got a video next week after I committed. Some Al Green playing. It was a good time. I like to visit. I like the genuine, people that I was surrounded by. And it's a once in a lifetime opportunity that you can't pass up.
Yeah.
And I'm really happy I made the decision. It was one of the best decisions I made in my life. And I'm glad to be here.
Vinyl records, huh?
Yeah, vinyl records. I got a whole collection.
What's how many? What's in your collection?
I got maybe 20 plus around there, something like that. I got a lot of, old school Drake, some Al Green.
Okay.
I got some Erykah Badu, Lauryn Hill. Take it back, old school Michael Jackson.
There you go. Yep. Look at you getting going to work.
And of course.
I like that.
Of course.
I like that. That's for sure. On that same kind of that vein right there, away from basketball, what would be something that people don't know about Kobe McGee that kind of makes you who you are? What would you share?
Away from basketball.
Yeah.
I used to be really into drawing.
Okay.
I stepped away from it. I've been busy, obviously, but I stepped away from drawing. I'm a really big movie lover.
Okay.
I like Avengers, all that superhero, nerdy stuff.
Yeah.
I'm a nerd for that. But I'll say drawing, reading my word for sure. just helping people grow in their process, and just connecting with other people, really.
Avengers your favorite movie, period? Or do you have a non...
My favorite movie,
yeah.
period, is the movie Soul. It's a Pixar movie. It's a
Okay.
Pixar movie. That's my favorite movie. It's a really, detailed movie.
Interesting.
You really watch it. If you know, you know. But if you watch it, you got to really pay attention
That's
to it.
one we haven't got to at the house
Yep,
yet. We're
yep.
gonna put that one on the list
It's a
with
good
you.
one.
Yeah,
It's
I
a
like
good
that. All right, there you go. The basketball side of it, as you guys continue to move forward, you got Wake Forest coming up on Saturday. Kobe, what's it like playing with a guy like Robert McCray right now, who has just been so good in distributing the basketball and getting the ball to guys like you and Chauncey in spaces to get you open shots? How does he make things easier on everybody on the offensive end?
It makes it easier because, one, Rob is a good facilitator, but he's also a really good scorer. So if you take away, people like me, Chauncey Martin, he's just going to score the basketball.
Yeah.
And if they crowd the paint in, we're going to be open. So, it's can't really stop that. But it's amazing to see him, grow as a point guard over these past couple months. I've known him for the past year through mutual, friends and whatnot, and seeing him grow from Jacksonville. It's actually amazing, and to see it firsthand is really cool.
Yeah, that's impressive stuff for you. 147 career threes made, 41 career double-figure scoring games, and as we mentioned, you've scored in double figures in 4 straight contests in ACC play, shooting 40% from behind the three-point line right now. You're doing it at a high level. Moving forward, kind of take me through the rest of the week as you guys recover and get your legs under you from Syracuse and the focus getting ready for Wake Forest on Saturday night.
Just take it day by day. Can't think too far ahead. Just got to stay out where your feet are at. Continue to prepare every day and practice, competing with each other and holding each other accountable. I'm a senior. I take all the accountability for leadership, role. So just helping my guys get to, where their feet are at.
Yep, I'll tell you what. It's been fun watching you play.
Yep.
Keep doing your thing. Appreciate your time.
Thank you.
There you go. Give it up for Kobe McGee, everyone. Super impressive here with us on the main table on Inside Seminole Basketball. Coming up, Associate Head Coach Jim Moran stops by the show. Coach Moran joins us on the other side. Stay tuned. We are back after this timeout.
This is Inside Seminole Basketball.
Back one final time here at Glory Days in Tallahassee. Jim Moran stopping by the program. Give Coach a round of applause, huh? Jim Moran, let's give it up for the Associate Head Coach of the Noles. As our program is brought to you in part by the Florida Department of Highway Safety and Motor Vehicles, here to remind you that if alcohol is in the mix, driving is not. Plan ahead, designated driver, grab a ride share, or stay put. Winning starts with smart choices. Drive sober, arrive alive. Go Noles. And this may be the most appropriate live read after our 4 a.m. welcome home last night. Grassroots Coffee. Mark Lowe's in the house. Shout out Mark Lowe. Order 6-man blend, the coffee that supports Florida State basketball directly at grassrootscoffee.com. Grassroots Coffee, made for everyone, loved everywhere. You drink I know you drink coffee, right?
Could use some of that this morning.
Right here.
Yeah,
that's for you. Take that home, big guy.
Perfect.
There it is right there. It's great to see you. Thanks so much for the time and joining us. And how have things gone here? Getting to Tallahassee, being a part of the Florida State family. It's been great to have you be a part of it, obviously.
Yeah, it's been a great adjustment. Luke kind of touched on it. He undersold Tallahassee a little bit when he was recruiting me out here, but it's been good. It's been a good adjustment for myself, for my family. Get to work with some great guys every day on our staff and our players as well. A lot of pressure following Kobe McGee over here. He's just an outstanding kid. We're really lucky to have him. He's a pleasure to be around. So getting to spend my time with those guys and Luke and our staff has been a joy for me.
Yep. As you are in charge of running this offense here on Coach's staff and having guys like Kobe, Robert McCray, Chauncey Wiggins, Martin Somerville, I'm leaving some guys out, but everybody, for the most part, can shoot the basketball in this offense. What's impressed you the most about how your group has grown in your system offensively?
Yeah, it's been a fun journey for me just being around these guys. I joined the staff late. I was still with the Sacramento Kings, finishing an NBA season. So by the time I got to Tallahassee, these guys had already been together for a while, just kind of trying to get to know guys, their strengths and weaknesses as players. Just trying to see where I fit in. I worked with Luke for a while. We've coached against each other a long time. We share a lot of the same ideals and philosophies. So it was an easy transition for me. I like to joke that when the offense isn't looking too good, it's me, and when it is, it's when it looks well, it's all him. part of the job, but it's been good. I mean, we got a lot of great offensive weapons. We got a lot of shooting on our team. We've just, for whatever reason, we just haven't shot it as well as we anticipated to start the season. So, I'm a big believer in the law of averages, and I know things will bounce back for us. So we just try to keep reminding our guys on who they are as people, who they are as players, and just try to instill, a positive mentality with them and tell them to do what they do, and things will work out for us.
Absolutely. You mentioned your resume. We showed it on the screen a moment ago. An assistant coach with the Portland Trailblazers from 2015 to 2021, and with the Detroit Pistons for a few years. You were the first ever head coach of the Rip City Remix in the G League, the Portland Trailblazers G League affiliate, and then joined Luke Laux in Sacramento a season ago as an assistant coach. How has your experience in the NBA, that style, have you seen it sort of translate over into what you're seeing in the college game? It feels like that's bleeding down a little bit now over the last couple of years.
Yeah, absolutely. I think a lot of college teams are trying to play a faster pace, faster type of game, a lot more three-point shooting, a lot more, possessions offensively. So it's very similar to what I'm accustomed to being in the NBA. We're trying to instill a lot of the things that we did in Sacramento with the Kings and other stuff we've done in the NBA. So it's very similar. It's good working for a head coach that feels the same way and wants to play that way. It makes it a lot easier for me, to kind of do the things I want to do on a daily basis with Luke. And I think being a former head coach has really reminded me of what I need to do for Luke on a day-to-day basis, what I needed from my assistants when I was a head coach. I've really carried that and tried to bring it to Luke to the best of my abilities.
We touched briefly on your time as a player, but your playing career over in Europe it was unbelievable. I mean, and if you go to YouTube, you can see coaches' jersey being hung in the rafters at CB Gran Canaria in Spain's Liga ACB, the top pro division in Spain. I know that time, man, meant a lot to you and formed you in a big way as a basketball coach as well, I would imagine.
Yeah, just living in a foreign country, trying to assimilate to a different culture, and being away from your family and friends, and just trying to enjoy the experience. Try to grow as much as I can as a player. I like to think I was a bigger, stronger, faster, better-looking Kobe McGee, if you will. But yeah, it was a great experience. As a coach now, I really look forward to if our players can have that opportunity that I had, and we got a lot of really good players that I think could play overseas, and just getting that experience and getting to live somewhere that most people get to travel to once in their life for a honeymoon or a vacation or something. I got to do it every day. So it's something I'm really grateful for, and I look back from time to time, and I'm real appreciative for that.
Amazing 10-season career, that's for sure. Kobe, is all that true, all the things Coach just said? Better looking? No, that was an emphatic no, by the way, from Kobe McGee. Well, Coach, we could do a whole show with you. That's for sure. We're definitely going to bring you back. Thanks so much for your time.
Appreciate
and
your
look forward to working with you moving forward as well.
Thank you.
There you go.
Thank
That's
you,
Jim Moran, everybody, associate head coach here with Florida State basketball. That's going to do it for us on a Wednesday night. Thanks for everybody coming out and hanging with us at Glory Days as you've been watching Inside Seminole Basketball. Have a great night, everybody, and as always, go Noles!